hidden hotel profits. Like behind me, I have my computer, which is also being recorded. So on some of this, you're gonna see me talking. On the other part, you're just gonna be watching the computer. So what we're investing in, I mean, I don't know if you guys played when you were younger. I played, and or nowadays you have it on your phone, Monopoly. And you go around, and basis of the game is own as many hotels as possible. And when you own the most hotels, you're basically going to win the game, right? So that's what we're looking at right here in hidden hotel profits. We're looking at companies, or one particular that I found, which is I enjoy, just because of the type of hotels that they're invested in and where they're at, right? Now, you can get like the same thing as in Monopoly. There's different time you can get one hotel is like that's basically it, but you can get a hotel on each of the three properties, right? So if you get one hotel on the property, it's worth X amount, right? And so then those are kind of like our cheaper properties, right? The properties on this side, and you got the blue, right? The Park Place and Boardwalk, those are your expensive properties, right? Now you can have hotels on the light blue and the gray or whatever, the cheap properties, and you're gonna make money when someone lands on it, but you're not gonna break the bank, right? You're not gonna make them go, and you're not gonna beat the game really on that if you only have the cheap ones, right? Now, if you only have the most expensive ones, right, the probability of people landing on those are very slim. But when they do land on them, and you got hotels on Boardwalk and Park Place, what usually happens? Exactly. You win the game, right? So with that mentality being thought, that's why I kind of was thinking of, okay, more of like the higher end properties and resorts, not your Motel 6s. Now, obviously, you can make a lot of money in Motel 6. Motel 6 has been around for quite some time, and they always keep the light on for you, right? But the hotels that I was looking at, and once again, this is a REIT, a real estate investment trust. So it's a group of money put together, and then they invest in different businesses, right? Or different hotels. Now, when doing this, I was looking for at least something that we can get a decent return on, right? And so we're going to be kind of switching over here so I can kind of explain what I found. Because the recommendation, we're at least getting 5% on our return, right? 5% on whatever money we put in there, year on year on year and year. And which companies that I'm saying to invest in, the reason why we want to do this, right? Okay, as we travel more, right? 100, 200 years ago, people didn't travel very far from their house. But nowadays, it's a norm. Even 5 years ago, I was talking to people, and I go to Colombia every year, Colombia, South America. And over the last 5 years, I'm talking to my friends down there, and there's a whole bunch more Americans that are coming down there, right? So travel the world's just getting smaller, right? The more that we are able to travel, the smaller the world is, right? With that, when you travel, now Airbnb is great, right? It's amazing. That's what we're talking about, that more in the advanced class of different ways to make money, because you need a little bit more money to get started with that, or it's a little bit more tricky than just buying a stock and holding it for ever, right? So with this, with the hidden hotel profits, right? What we do is we're just buying this. Like I said, there's numerous of them, right? So I just picked the one that looks best for me, that fits my personality best, right? So I advise you to do your own homework so you can choose one that best fits you, right? Because your personality and my personality might be a little different, right? So what we have. And I also like more high-end properties. So what we'll do, we'll switch over to the computer. All right. So now we're looking at the computer screen, and let's get back into here. All right. So now we understand why hotel profits make sense. That we want to be in the game for a while. You know, people are just going to travel more and more and more. So it just makes sense to be invested in something that's going to continuously give us a decent 6% yield. And then we look at where these properties are located. And then we also look at which ones they are, right? So that's what I was saying about like the different, like I'm not really interested in investing in the Motel Sixes of the world, although that might fit your personality and you're better than it does mine. Right here, I enjoy the fact that we got the Hilton, we got Marriott, Hilton, we got Ritz Carlton, Park Hyatt, right? So we have these really expensive hotels, right? And the more millionaires that the world's creating and everything, these are going to be the high end, booking out all the time. Plus this real estate, right? That's what I'm looking at is the real estate that's behind them, right? So to give it a little bit more in depth, right? All right. So the Ritz Carlton in Sarasota, Florida, they own the entire hotel, 266 rooms out of 266 rooms. There's a couple of these they don't own every last room. So in La Jolla, California, the Hilton, 394. You know what I'm saying? So they almost all own all of it, right? So out of 3,700 rooms, they own 3,400. That's a lot of rooms, especially when you're taking in consideration the Ritz Carlton Sarasota probably renting out about $200-$300 a night, right? A night per the cheap rooms. Now, if you were to get the expensive room, it's going to be a lot more than that, right? Chicago, right? We're looking at Lake Tahoe, Ritz Carlton. None of these hotels are cheap, and in the especially in the boom season, they're very expensive to spend the night there, and they're all in high desirable places. Napa Valley, right? Seattle, San Francisco, Chicago, Napa Valley again, right? Wine country, banking country. So yeah, that's the basis of this one right here, and that's why I think that this would be a great investment for the future. It's not very expensive, right? $9.45 as of the 14th. I mean, it's the 17th now, a couple of days later. But yeah, perfect long term invest like Paris Hilton.